All right, welcome to my favorite exercise on how to improve hip internal rotation. So hip internal rotation, if you think about that, if you have trouble squatting with a narrow stance, if you have trouble hinging, doing deadlifts, if you have feet that are turned out constantly, you probably lack hip internal rotation. I'm going to show you exactly how to improve that just using one exercise. What you're going to need is a raised platform, anywhere from like 6 to 12 inches. If you have really bad hip internal rotation, you want to raise this even higher. I have these yoga blocks so I can sit on them comfortably. Now, a W sit is an exercise that children actually do very often when they sit on the floor. They're actually told not to do this for whatever reason. It's actually something that we lose first. So in order to do the W sit, you're going to sit on a surface like this, and you're going to turn your legs in like this, all right? Now, this is really intense for you to do. You are going to want to bring your heels closer in. See how my heels are closer to my body like this? This is going to be more intense like this. This is more internal rotation. So if it feels kind of weird on your knees or your hips, you want to bring your legs closer in like this. Now from here, I'm trying to rotate my pelvis. So I'm trying to anteriorly tilt my pelvis. You can use the platform that you're sitting on to kind of push yourself up and get into this internal rotation. So I'm not trying to sit back, slouch like this. I'm trying to come up like this. What this does is it prevents us from rotating at the knees excessively and allows us to rotate from the hip. So when we do this, you're going to feel a stretch in the hip capsule. And you're going to hold this position for 30 to 60 seconds. When you're in this position, I don't want you to just relax. I want you to use your strength. So you're going to do two things, these PNF contractions. You're going to push your knees down first and your feet up. So you're going to do like this. Try to contract and relax. And then you're going to go the opposite way. You're going to push your feet into the floor and try to come out like this. Of course, don't come all the way come out like this because you won't be able to, but try to think about doing that and then just repeat for the entire set. All right, so then once we get better at that, we can then lower the surface even more. See how this is going to be even more intense? I actually have worse hip internal rotation on this leg, so you might actually notice one side might be tighter than the other, and you might need to spend more time in this position. And then you're going to do the same thing. You can also gently push on your knees to intensify the stretch and resist outward as you're pressing. Again, if you are feeling any sensations in the knee, you're either not ready for this height, so you need to raise it again higher, or you need to lean back a little bit more. But ideally, before you lower it, you should be able to sit up straight in this position. If you can't sit up straight, you're slouching down like this, do not lower the surface. You want be comfortable sitting in this position for the full 60 seconds, doing exactly what I said. Remember, this is a very intense position. This is basically the equivalent of doing like the middle splits for the adductors or front splits for the hamstrings and the hip flexors, or like a pigeon stretch for the glutes. This is a really, really intense position. So the ultimate goal eventually is to get all the way down to the floor, being able to stay in that anterior pelvic tilt, which is something I can't even do. So I'm not even there. My hip internal rotation is probably my weakest link. I need to work on this more, but this is something that everybody needs to improve. If this has helped you, leave a comment below. If you have any issues, I could probably help you out in the comments. Remember, don't force anything with this position. We're just trying to relax our nervous system because this is a very weird position and we're told not to do this, but this is really, really important to do. You can do 20 different exercises for this position, but this is the best one, in my opinion, to improve the strength and flexibility of internal rotation.